106.7 The Eagle with Green Day there in Basket Case on Waco's only classic rock station, 106.7 The Eagle. All right, yesterday I got a chance to talk on the phone with Eddie Money. He wanted me to call him yesterday because he's on Pacific time. He's West Coast time, and he did not want to wake up very early because that's, Eddie Money's a rock star. These guys sleep late. So I called him at Rockstar 6 a.m., which is noon. Called him at noon yesterday, had a chance to visit with him, and here you go. Here's part one of my interview with Eddie Money.
Hey, Ralphie, Eddie Money, how you doing?
Eddie Money, you even answer the phone like Eddie Money, the money man. How are you, sir?
What are you doing? How's everybody at 106.7? You guys good or what?
Look at this. You got the station name. You got my name. Yes, dude, we are doing great. We are awesome. And
Come on, Ralph, we were in different rehabs together. Come on, we go way back. You
know what? I'm not going to lie. We probably had been in a similar rehab. There's probably a time where we have been in a similar rehab.
I did a show the other night. This gorgeous girl was right below my feet, and she was crying her eyes out. Eye makeup was running down her cheeks like a little girl who lost a puppy or something. I was singing. I couldn't talk to her. But when the guitar solo came around, I bent down and said, "Hey, baby," she said, You're standing on my fingers."
You know what it is about you, Money Man? You got that Eddie Money energy. You just got nonstop Eddie. How do you keep it up, man?
Well, I got 5 kids. I'll do anything to get out of the house. And we got a lot of friends in Waco with Bully Beach. That Brickyard is really a great place to play.
Yes, I know. The Backyard, it's a brand new joint. It's only been around a couple years. Yeah. It's an awesome, awesome place. And for those that don't know, right. Eddie Money is going to be in Waco April 22nd playing at the Backyard. He's doors open at 6:30. It's at 7 o'clock. You can find it at eddymoney.com/tour. I did want to ask you, you have done so many shows all across the country, but you've done a show in Detroit for almost 20 years in a row now. Is that right?
Well, yeah. I mean, they love me. Got a lot of great fans in Detroit. I got people like Kid Rock come up to my show, and the guys from Grand Funk Railroad, and so once in a while Bob Seger shows up, Anita Baker. We got a lot of fans there.
How has it changed? Because a lot of people think of Detroit as a town that unfortunately is kind of dying a little bit. Is it coming back? How do you feel about Detroit?
Well, Detroit, it's still a great little rock and roll town. The people mean business, the hardworking people. Yeah. And it's a really good business there, and they're a lot of fun.
I'm glad to see they're getting like all these manufacturing plants back because I want a revival of Detroit. I want Detroit to come back.
Yeah, that'd be great. You know what? I like the way you're thinking. And the people there, they feel the same way themselves. Everybody wants things to get better. You know that.
That's great, man. So now I read about you. You almost went to the police department when you were younger, and you decided to go the rock and roll train. Do you ever think about what Eddie Money's life would be like if you were an NYPD officer right now?
Well, if I would have stayed on the police department, I would have married my girlfriend from high school, and she wouldn't move down to San Diego. But I was in a rock band in high school. And like the song says, I want to be a rock and roll star. I was very lucky to get a deal with Columbia Records, and Rock and Pizzeria Bill Graham signed me. And next thing I know, I was on Saturday Night Live. I was doing Bert Griffin and Mike Douglas, and we were doing a midnight special. So, I had a lot of great breaks. But then again, we had songs like Two Tickets to Paradise, Baby Hold On to Me, Take Me Home Tonight, Give Me Some Water, Walk on Water. I was blessed by it. And I'm very lucky to say that my voice still sounds great. I still got all my hair, and people are still going to the shows.
Again, you can see Eddie Money right here in Waco, April 22nd. He's going to be at the Backyard. For more information, go to eddymoney.com/tour. We'll do part 2 of the interview coming up in a bit. But first, taking a quick break, we got Wings and U2 up next, right here in Waco's only classic rock station, 106.7 The Eagle. It is 106.7 The Eagle, Waco's only classic rock station. All right, it's time for part 2 of my interview with Eddie Money from yesterday. When you did that Geico commercial, was there a big spike in Eddie Money again? Because I know, those are huge commercials. People watch them. People know. I bet you got some downloads.
I got to tell you, when I did the Geico commercial, everybody in the world started recognizing me again. It was up for commercial of the year. And it was like, I thought I was getting over-recognized. They're going to do another Geico commercial with me in it. I said, guys, I'm famous enough. Please, enough of that. But that was what I'm staying away from commercials, basically speaking. Everybody's got a cell phone these days. And if they want a picture of me, it's fantastic. When I get on the plane, the pilot wants to say hi to me. All the stewardesses, I've been around for, 30, 35 years.
I bet.
So I got a lot of great fans out there,
Yeah, definitely, man. And one of the other things I was curious about, since you've stayed Eddie Money the whole time. You haven't done a lot of changes, but a lot of rockers I've noticed have gone country. Like Steven Tyler tried it, Bret Michaels tried it, Bon Jovi. You ever think about doing country music?
No, I tell you the truth, I made a record with me and Vince Gill. Vince Gill's a big Eddie Money fan. We did Hard Life. We did Give Me Some Water. We did a new version of Two Tickets to Paradise. I mean, I like country, but if the country western what's on TV, it's like 70s rock and roll. I mean, country to me was Tammy Wynette and George Jones and Willie Nelson. I keep Urban up there playing rock guitars. I mean, if you think about it, when I was looking at the Country Western Awards, it reminded me so much of a rock show. It didn't remind me of country the way I did country growing up as a kid,
Well, if you play guitar and you like riff rock and stuff like that, there's really only one genre left for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I play saxophone. I play a lot harmonica.
Yeah, I knew about that. You played when I saw you were in Waco 2 or 3 years ago at the Brazos Nights event, and you played 3 or 4 different instruments. I was blown away by how much you could play, man. I knew you did the songs. I didn't know you did all the other stuff.
Well, if you're going to write music and you start out, you got to learn how to play piano. You got to learn how to play a little bit of guitar. You got to learn how to play a little bit of everything, which is really amazing. But we really have a lot of fun out there. I got a great band. The band sounds great. We open up with Baby Hold On. Then we go into Endless Nights. So I want to do a song for all my ladies from the 80s. So we do Endless Nights. Where you gonna go? So, the show really, we could Give Me Some Water, Walk on Water, Take Me Home Tonight, Think of My Love, Shaking. The show's really, I got to knock on some wood because the critics have really been raving about the show.
That's awesome, man. So what can people expect when they come to see you on April 22nd at the Backyard here in Waco?
Well, to tell you the truth, my voice isn't really good shape. I quit drinking about going on 8 years ago. Everybody's happy but me. It's kind of like 5 to 84 to the Eddie Money Show. But my voice sounds great. My wife's got me on the treadmill, so my weight's down. I think the show. I think people are going to be very happy with the show. And we're selling T-shirts too. We're doing this Pets for Vets. You see all these commercials on TV.
Oh, what is it? Tell me about this. What's this that you do?
Well, Pets for Vets. You see on TV with all these dogs, in the freezer with the chains on them in the backyards. Well, what they're doing is they're training these dogs how to take care of these disabled veterans.
Oh, man.
It's called Pets for Vets. So if people pick up an Eddie Money T-shirt, a lot of the proceeds go for Pets for Vets, which helps out the dogs and it helps out our wonderful veterans,
Yeah, man, that's awesome. So they can do that while they're at the show. They can support a great charity as well as checking out some awesome Eddie Money music.
Hey, listen, 106.7, The Eagle, you guys are doing great. You had a great book. I know you got a wonderful show, and I want to thank you so much for having me on the show.
All right, you want to see him? He'll be here in Waco April 22nd at the Backyard. Find out more information and get tickets, eddiemoney.com/tour. We'll take a quick break. More on the way right here on Waco's only classic rock station, 106.7 The Eagle.